2 lesson 9-2. Page 446. Number 1, explain how to multiply the rational expressions. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this times that. So we got x minus 3 times x squared minus 3x plus 4. And that's going to be over 2 times x squared minus 2x. Okay, now a lot of people like to factor these out first so they can simplify first, and that makes things a little easier. So if we factor this, let's see, we got x minus 4 times x minus 1. All right, and then down here you would have x times x minus 2. There's nothing to factor out. Okay, there's nothing to factor out. So you're just going to have to do the multiplication. And let's see, that's going to be, we'll write it down here. X times x squared is x cubed. X times minus 3x squared plus 4x. And then negative 3, that's going to be minus 3x squared and plus 9x and then minus 12 all over, and we're going to have 2x squared minus 4x. And so let's see, simplify x cubed, that's the only one, x cubed minus 3x squared minus 3x squared, that's going to be minus 6x squared. So that gets those out. I got 4x and 9x, that's going to be plus 13x. And then minus 12. And that's going to be over 2x squared minus 4x. All right, excellent job. Let's try number 2. Let's try number 2. So you got x, and, all right, x minus. Well, if we factor this, we got 3 times x minus 2. Okay, see how that helps us? So, well, first off, we got excluded values this time. All right, so excluded, what are the excluded values? Anything that makes this denominator go to 0. Okay, so that's going to be 2 and negative 9. All right, so we got those. Now, if you'll notice, we got an x minus 2 here and an x minus, those cancel out. So that's a 1 and that's a 1. So you got x times 1, that's just going to give you x. And then you got 3 times x plus 9. 3 times x plus 9. And the excluded values, are x cannot equal negative 9 and x cannot equal 2. All right. Let's take a look at number 3. Well, we can take a 5x out of here, right? And that leaves us with x plus 5. All right, good. So x plus 5s cancel out. And then we've got a 2, that becomes a 1, and that becomes a 2. So we'll call that 2x. 2x. Okay. Now, our excluded values cannot be negative 5. So x cannot equal negative 5. And what do we got here? We have 5x times 1 times 2x. That's going to be 10x squared. And then we got 1 times 1. So it's just 10x squared over 1, which is just 10x squared. Easy peasy. Let's try number 4. What do we got here? Now 4 is a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to let's see, I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, I got 10, and then that's x plus 3. And here, let's see here, I got x minus 5 times x plus 2. Okay, so my excluded values, x cannot equal, we got negative 3, we got negative 2, and we got 5. All right, let's go ahead and factor this up here. We're going to have x minus 5, and then we're going to have x plus 3. Let's see, negative 5 times 3 is negative 15, negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. And do the same thing here. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. All right. So now what can we simplify out? And you want to do this first because that will make the multiplication much, much easier. And we got the x minus 5 and the x minus 5. So what do we end up with on the top? 1 times 3 just gives you 3. On the bottom, you got 10 times 1 times x plus 2. And of course, x cannot equal negative 3, negative 2, and 5. All right. So really, the hardest part about this is finding the factors. All right. So let's look up here. This is the difference of perfect squares. So we're going to have x plus 1 times x minus 1. Okay. Down here, we're going to have x times x minus 1. Okay, we got factors of 4 that give you 5, 4 and 1. So we're going to have x plus 4 times x plus 1. Okay. So let's see. Negative 4, negative 1, and 1. X cannot equal negative 4, negative 1, and 1. And also 0. I almost missed that. All right, what can we get rid of? Well, we got an x plus 1 here and an x plus 1 there. Those cancel out. We have an x minus 1 here and an x minus 1 there. Excellent. We have an x here and then x squared there, so the x cancels out. And what do we got? 1 times x just leaves you with x. What do we got on the bottom? X plus 4 times 1 times 1 is just x plus 4. Now, I'm going to show you something. This right here. I'm going to put this in the calculator. Let's see, what do we got? Let's go to graph. On, new document, no, let's go to graphs. Control, divide, I got x over x plus 4. Voila, there you go. Now let's put the original in. Control, divide. I got x squared minus 1 over x squared plus 5x plus 4. And this is going to be multiplied by times, control, divide. And let's see, we got x squared. And we have x squared minus x. All right. See how they land right on top of each? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And let's make this negative 6. and 6. Make that -6 and 6. Okay. Now, what's the difference here? Okay, we got this x plus 4. Why do we need to find those excluded values right off the bat? Control T. Okay. Notice on the original, x equals 1 is undefined, but it's not on this one here, and that's because you've taken it out. -1. 0. Undefined on both. Okay? Well, undefined on the original, now when we get over here to -4, it's undefined on both. Okay? And that makes sense because what did we do here? That's the only one left. That's why you need to do these up front before you do all the simplifying. All right, got a little happy there. Okay. So what do we got here? What do we got? We got 4x, so we're going to, let's see, I'm going to do it right here. Let's do it down here. X is not equal to 0. X is not equal to -3. Now, I'm not sure about this. I'm going to have to do that. What do we got? We're going to have, it's positive and negative, so we're going to have x plus 11 and then x minus 7. Okay? Does that help? Sure it does. Let's see, that's a factor. So it cannot equal -11 and it cannot equal 7. All right, now let's do some more of these. X minus 7, and then that's going to be x times x minus 3. Can you imagine having to multiply? Ooh, that would be nasty. And we got x plus 11 times x plus 3. That's just 4x and x plus. All right, let's see what we can eliminate. We've got x plus 3 and x plus 3. We have x plus 11 and x plus 11. Whew. Getting more manageable now. And we have x minus 7 and x minus 7. Good, good, good. And we have 4x, and we'll just make that just x. And this 8 will become 2. All right, what do we got left? What do we have left? 1 times 1x times 2, so we're going to have 2x times x minus 3. And that's going to be over, that's just, I didn't see there, look at there. I missed one. That's a 1 and that's a 1. So I'm going to end up with just 2. Okay? I got 2 times x minus 3. And all of that is going to be over 1. So I have 2 times x minus 3, and x cannot equal negative 11, -3, 0, and 7. Okay, good deal. Let's try this one here. What do we got? X minus. Okay, so let's factor this. What do we got? 3, and that's x minus 2. And we got 4x, and that's going to be x plus 6. Okay, so my not equals values, x is not equal to, can't be equal to 6. -2, 0, and -6. Those are my excluded values. Now let's see what we can do up here. Take an x out, and I got x minus 6. Okay, and I don't know that I can do anything else with that. So let's see what we can eliminate. I have x minus 6 and x minus 6. Good. I have 3 and I have 3. I got an x here, and so that's going to be x to the first. I got x plus, so what do I got across the top now? 1, 1, and 9x, so that's going to equal 9x. What do I have left on the bottom? I got 4. I got an x minus 2 and an x plus 6. Oh, that was a, look at there. I made a mistake. What is this right here? This is a difference of perfect squares. X minus 6 times x plus 6. So I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that. So we got x plus 6, 1, x minus 6, 1, 3, and 3. Those are gone. I have a 4. Okay, so now I got 9x times 1 times 1 times 1. That's 9x. 1 times 4. I got 4, and that's x minus 2. 7. All right, good deal. And x cannot equal negative 6, negative 2, 0, and 6. All right, they'll always write those numbers from left to right. Find the quotients and any excluded values. All right, a little more practice. Good deal. We can always use a little more practice. Let's see, quotient, that's dividing, right? So we're going to take this and divide it by that, and we're going to take that and divide it by that. What if we rewrite it like this? Make it a little bit easier. 5x squared plus 10x over x squared plus 2x plus 1, and then multiply that by x squared minus 1 over 20x plus 40. All right, not a problem. Now what does that do for the excluded values? What does that do for the excluded values? Well, this is going to be, let's see here, let's factor this. We got x plus 1 times x plus 1. All right. And let's see, over here we've got, well, take 20, and that's x plus 2. All right. Up here we can take a 5x out, and we have x plus 2. And over here we've got x minus 1 times x plus 1. That's the difference of perfect squares. So my excluded values, x cannot equal negative 1. And then remember this was on that, so that would have been 1, negative 1 and 1, just negative 1. And now we have this in the denominator, so it cannot equal either. Okay, so negative 2. Negative 2. So those are your excluded values. Let's get a little Christmassy here. We got x plus 2 and x plus 2. We've got x plus 1 and x plus 1. What do we got left? Oh, we got a 20 here. Let's see, that's going to be 4, and that's going to be 1. So I am left with, on the top, 1 times x times 1. That's just x. And then I got an x plus 1 here. Ooh. Should I have that x plus 1? I got x minus 1. I got an x plus 1 here and an x plus 1 there. So what do I really just got left on number 8? I got x minus 1. That's, oh, shoot. That's, my x minus 1 should have stayed. That's x minus 1 times x plus 1. So I took that out. And I got x plus 1 there. And see, we got a little confusing there. All right, so what do we got? X times x minus 1 over, and we got x plus 1 and 4, so we got 4 times x plus 1. Okay. Yeah, they're a little complicated, aren't they? All right. Maybe this time here we'll try it like this. We'll go, let's see, 6 and 3, right? So x minus 3 times x minus 6. Over here you got a difference. That's going to be x plus 6 times x minus 6. And then over here, well, it's going to be x plus 3 times x plus 6. And that's going to be x plus 3 times x minus 3. Okay, let's rewrite it now as a multiplication. So we're going to have x minus 3 times x minus 6 over x plus 3 times x plus 6 times, and then we got x plus 3 over x minus 3, and then we have x plus 6 times x minus 6. What can we reduce? X minus 6 and x minus 6. We have an x plus 3 and an x plus 3. What is left? We've got x minus 3 times x minus 3 over x plus 6 times x plus 6. All right, now, what about the excluded values? X cannot equal, what do we got up here? Negative 3 and negative 6. Negative 6, negative 3. And we have negative 3 and positive 3, so we got a positive 3 right there. And then what about here? Negative 6 we already got. So, can't be a negative 6. We got negative 6, negative 3. We have, well, that negatives. And positive 6. So we got to get a positive 6. All right, we got them all. Good deal. Number 10. All right. I think I like factoring them first. So I got negative x, and then x. 20, I got a positive, so that's going to be plus 5, and that's going to be plus 4. That gives me negative 4x, and positive 5x gives me positive there. All right, we got that. That's just x plus 4. What do we got here? I can take a 5x out, and that leaves me with x minus 5. And then over here, I can take a 2 out, and that leaves me with x minus 7. Now I'm going to invert and multiply, so I've got negative x plus 5 times x plus 4 over 5x times x minus 5. That's going to be times 2, and that's x minus 7 over x plus 4. Excluded values. X cannot equal 0, cannot equal 5, cannot equal negative 4, and cannot equal 7. All right, good. Now let's see what Well, we've got x plus 4, that's a 1, and that's a 1. X minus 7, I can't do anything with that. Well, look at here, I have a, what if I take a negative out? Negative 1 and make that x minus 5. All right, now those two can simplify. I got negative 1 times 2. It gives me negative 2 times x minus 7 over and 5x. Okay, and like I said, you can always check it with your graphing calculator. Okay, graph them, and if they lay up on top of each other, you're good to go. 5 and 3 is 15, 5 and 3 is 8, so x plus 5 times x plus 3, and that's just x minus, this is a difference of perfect squares, so we got x minus 5 times x plus 5, and those will stay the same. So excluded values, x cannot equal negative 5, negative 3, negative 5, negative 3, and positive 5. So let's invert and multiply. We have x plus 3 over x plus 5 times x plus 3 times, and we have x minus 5 over x minus 5 times x plus 5. All right, what can we get rid of? Let's see here. X, that's a 1, and that's a 1. And then we can get rid of x minus 5 and x minus 5. And what are we left with? We're left with 1 times 1, that's just 1. And then x plus 5 times x plus 5. And you can write it as x plus 5 times x plus 5, or you can just write it like that. And the excluded values are negative 5, negative 3, and 5. Okay, and let's check here. Negative 5, negative 3, 5 we got, and negative 5 we got. All right. Excellent. Excellent. All right. 12 and 13. That is going to be what I leave for you. Number 12 and number 13. Okay? And I'm going to give you the answer. The answer is going to be x minus 1 over 3, and x cannot equal negative 2, 0, and 9. 13, it's going to be 8 over x, and x cannot equal negative 4, 0, and 6. Okay, now you have to show your work. All right, to get credit for those two problems, you have to show your work. All right, because I gave you the answers. Folks, you've been great. See you tomorrow. You have a nice evening.